We lost 1-0 at Old Trafford. So Alex Ferguson for 2 weeks didn't speak to us.
And then he said he got pulled over. He's obviously got cash on him because he's going somewhere. Police have asked him why he got cash. He's turned around, he said to me, I told him I robbed the bank.
And I've never seen the manager go at someone like he did. like nowhere someone's getting in, you just like, you feel like saying, "Yo, come on, like, leave him now."
With me and my kids, I've refused to play football with them.
Don't want to show them up?
No, I just, like, it was the
They're all
same.
bigger than him now.
Well, this is nice, isn't it? Wayne, you like this sofa?
Yeah, it reminds me of my mum's one when I was a kid. I think there's a picture in my book where I'm like just laid out on it. But yeah, no, it looks nice.
And this is somewhere that you're familiar with as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
Kay?
I've been here a few times. Not to record any music or anything.
But you've recorded one of our shows from this.
Well, near here. Yeah, I was here. It was. Remember, I was in that basement, and I was like, I've been in town working. I was here.
That got cut out of the pod because it was such a boring answer, I think, when I was like, "Hey, where are you?"
Yeah, I was
Didn't
like,
make the
what am I
edit.
meant to go? Yeah, I'm in a basement in a gym. Like, just can't lie about it. But yeah, it feels like we're about to do like a radio interview about like what your album sounds like.
Yeah, I should probably say at this point, for people that aren't watching this on YouTube or iPlayer, we are in a studio together in London. Myself, Kelly Somers with Wayne Rooney, Kae Kurd, and we've got a special guest with us today as well, the one and only Shaun Wright-Phillips. Shaun, oh, we're giving you an applause, are we?
Yeah, man, come on, give him a proper welcome. Yeah.
Shaun, thanks for coming on the show today. It's Manchester Derby weekend, so we had to get you in.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it, this weekend, Wayne?
Well, United are ahead in the table, aren't they? So I think
I'll give you that one for this season.
Yeah, it's early in the season, and Kay, you that was your favourite stat of the season so far,
Yeah, it was.
isn't it?
But yeah, you can only look at the table, right? You can only be as good as whoever's been put in front of you, and we're higher than City are at the moment.
This is typical Man United fan.
But listen, oh, come on, Shaun, man. Look, listen, we get it. You played for them. Like,
so much pain over.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I mean.
10 years.
I've come from the dark stages of Man City. Now we're all in the light.
you had a bit of success with them, didn't you?
Yeah, I had enough. I had enough. It made me as a person and a character in many ways to be able to deal with a lot of things that I walked into, because there was games that was going in, especially against United, where a lot of players, senior players, were worried about keeping the score down rather about winning. So
How was it?
yeah,
How was that transition though, to go from like losing all the time and then?
we didn't lose all the time.
It's quite early to go in with that, Kay.
I just wanted to see his mentality.
Right, he's a few years older than me. And remember, as I was like trying to get into the first team, and Shaun's come through at City, always remember them sleeves.
Oh, too long for me,
great.
everything. We was laughing about that the other
The
day.
kids weren't made to measure, was they? And my kids, when I first come through, the sleeves are like massive. You just any size fits all. One size.
Wasn't it in the regulations as well, where you had to tuck in your shirt when you guys were playing?
I'm not sure if it was a regulation thing. I think it was more of a team etiquette thing. Like manager, that's what a certain manager wanted rather than you had to.
Oh, because
It comes through the academies, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then especially if you've come through as an academy player, you go into the first team, then you've done it the whole time with that club. So Everton still do it. My boys, young boys, are Everton now, and you have to tuck the shirt and still.
Oh really? Yeah, because I was watching a game recently, and I was like, nobody's got their shirts tucked in anymore.
Doesn't look right. I don't like it. I prefer it when it's tucked in.
I don't know. I think you can get away with it now because, as Wayne said, like when we were coming through, we couldn't have our shirt out because me with a shirt out,
Would have looked like
it
a
would have been
dress.
down to my knees, basically. so it was better tucked in.
That's wild, isn't it? That the kits didn't really actually fit.
It
Like-
was
And they were
literally
heavy as well. If it rained, they were like an extra half a stone on you.
Did you get to decide whether you wanted long sleeve or short sleeve?
Yeah, I think then you could, but then it changed. I think with all the sponsorship deals and stuff, they brought all undertops out, and so then they stopped making the long sleeve shirts. So if you look now, no players wear long sleeve shirts.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
So it's either short sleeve or short sleeve with the
Under Armour.
So you've got just trying to make more money off the fans, I suppose.
Is that literally the reason?
What?
That's the reason. So I wore long sleeve at United for
Yeah.
for a bit, and then they stopped making them. So that's why I started wearing undervest.
I think there was a Liverpool shirt though in the last few years that they released as a long sleeve one, but I think it was like they made a big deal out of it because, like, you're right, they stopped.
Yeah, I
making
think sometimes I think they still release them for the fans, but actually for the first team players because they want to advertise the tops underneath, and they don't make them no more.
You wore long sleeves, didn't you?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the cold, me, man. I tell you that much.
Did you have to roll the sleeves up though?
No, tuck them in my gloves normally, girls.
So I used to wear the under sleeve. So I wore that in the States when I play out there, and you know, in like 100 degrees, I used to wear it. And the reason I used to wear it because if it don't and the sun burns my skin, it heats all my body up. So I used to wear it to like stop the sun actually burning me skin.
Something I've learnt from these early pods is Wayne can't handle the sun. Remember the top of the log flume in Dubai wearing his skin tight.
So yeah, no, that's why people used to ask why do you wear it, and then like if there's a little break and you get some water, I put water on and it cools it down. So.
I'm gonna love in like 3 weeks. There's gonna be like a suntan lotion company sponsoring Wayne.
I don't think there'd be any that would be strong enough. It's very sensitive. Let's bring it back round to the Manchester derby then, because that is why Shaun's here. How much did you look forward to these games, or did you dread them?
It depends. From academy days, I would say coming through the ranks, like it was something we really looked forward to and we couldn't get away from it because back then that's all the fans lived for, was like that moment from 16 all the way to the first team. They watched all of those games. So I kind of got dragged into the culture from a young age, especially being from London, and it became my derby rather than just a South Londoner playing in a Manchester derby. But then when I got to like the first team and the derby was coming up, I think like 10 to 20 days before, I'll just be out with my kids and stuff, and fans would walk past you and be like, look, honestly, we know how the season's going to go, but right now we don't really care. Just beat Man United and we will be happy. And I was always like, I'm just going to try my best, because at that time, getting the ball off Man United was hard enough. So it was like, when you get the ball, try and make something happen. But yeah, those days were good. But then when I came back the second time and certain players started coming into the fold, those players that came in had a different sort of belief in terms of...
Which players in particular?
There's a few of them I can't name for some reasons, but like if you bring in like your Vincent Kompany's, your Nigel de Jongs, your Yayas, and like we said in there that your David Silvas, like it kind of changed the ballpark. Like you're going into a game, and Mark Hughes was the manager at that time, and as much as he wanted us to defend, he believed in us expressing ourselves, and he's like, as soon as you get the ball off them, you go, basically, and you don't look back. And then the game started to change, and then I was thinking, every time we came up against him, we just believed we could beat him. Wow. Like, even if it didn't happen.
That's mad, because, so what you're almost saying then about, you know, the fans coming up to you and stuff. So I had that, obviously, at Everton, when I was at Everton versus Everton v Liverpool. So I was that side of it, where the fans are coming up and round the training ground for the week before. It's just everyone, like, the staff who are all, like, City fans there, or Everton fans, like, they feel sick because the game's coming up, and they're that worried about losing the game. So, but then when at United, when I was there, as Shaun said, for the first few years, it never really felt like a rivalry. It just felt like we were going to go and win the game and move on. And then the longer it went on, obviously City then got more money behind them, getting better players in. It become more competitive game.
As I said to Kay as we walked in, you're going to come into like your own here, because you'll remember all the Manchester derbies throughout your life, and you were like, well, back then it was more Liverpool and Arsenal when you were growing up, wasn't it? I guess, but then it has changed as the status of two clubs has changed, as these guys have said.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, it was like Man City. I mean, when it was like Trevor Sinclair playing for them and all that, it was like
he absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's the sort of era I remember.
Sorry for Patrice. He gets mentioned on this show a lot. We need to get him on to defend himself.
No, I mean, I remember that game, and it was like, yeah, you're right. Vidic and Evra were having a hard time. I think it was they'd just been signed in January, hadn't they? So, but yeah, like I said, it was that era, so I didn't really care too tough about it. But yeah, it was the Arsenal and the Liverpool games that I was a bit more concerned about. But yeah, I mean, there was a few really bad ones once, like they started having some success. The 6-1, I remember, I was watching it in the gym with a couple of my mates, and I was just like, I was about to cry, bruv. Like,
I think that was a big moment for City then, because you could feel City coming up and getting closer to us. But to come to Old Trafford and win 6-1, I think that was like
the statement.
Yeah, that was a statement. And like, I remember being on the pitch, and
What was that like?
Oh, it was horrible. Obviously, we went to 10 men, and I have to say that as well. No,
Sorry,
but-
before we came in here, you started talking about the shots on target.
Yeah, no, because
I was like, as if we're still
honestly,
talking about
the
it all
shots
these
on
years
target, the shots on target were very similar. It was just that they took
XG.
it.
Okay, you lost 6-1. No one cares how many shots on target
No,
there
it
were.
was horrible. It was like second half, just felt like it was goal after goal, and you just like, oh, get me off this pitch.
But do you know what made it worse? Because at that period we weren't used to losing. Like you didn't know how to process a loss.
Not at Old Trafford, 6-1.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
I don't
insane.
think that's ever.
I don't think it was a thing.
Yeah,
Even I don't think I'd ever come close to getting beat 6-1. at
Yeah,
Old Trafford,
it was insane.
Before
So-
or after.
it's not like now where it's like, okay, yeah, we look fair enough. Whereas, no, I'm being serious. Like nowadays, if we lose, I'm like, yeah, it is what it is. But back then, it was like, look, are you seeing our team, bro? How has this happened?
No, but City then had a good team. Like, so even Jack O, I don't think that's the credit he deserves, and
definitely.
Silver and I think Balotelli there then
Yeah,
as well. He was you didn't know what you were going to get with him. So and, they had a good team. Torre, Company, Harty in goal. They had,
I know, but what were the players and the manager saying at the end of the game? What was it like? Did he need to say much, or were you all just like,
Yeah, I can't remember what the manager said, but
Blocked it out.
no, but honestly, I think I'd imagine it would be just, see you tomorrow, and we just have to move on from it.
Is that how it didn't happen often? Admittedly, is that how United at that time dealt with any setbacks? It was like that's just a one-off. You just move on from it.
No, there was times where when we played Portsmouth in the FA Cup quarter-final, and Thomas Cusack got sent off, Rio went in goal. We lost 1-0 at Old Trafford, and it was the year we won the league and the Champions League, and I think we was at Middlesbrough and Cardiff in the semi-final for the treble. So Alex Ferguson for 2 weeks didn't speak to us.
2 weeks?
2 weeks. We had games.
None of
we
you?
had games.
But Wayne, you're going to have to tell us more. Like, who's
we had
picking the
he didn't
team?
speak to us. He's picked it. He literally picked the team the moment the day of the
Just
game.
wrote it
Picked
down?
the team. You walk past him in the corridor, wouldn't look at you. 2 weeks because he knew that was a massive missed opportunity for the treble game.
Oh my word!
What are you and the players saying to each other at that
I was
point?
just trying to stay away from him. Just like, if you see him come down the corridor, you're trying to go another way.
You see, when you were at City, say you did lose a Manchester derby, could you go out in Manchester that night, or would you like hide for the week?
It kind of depended on the player. Like if the Man City fans were good in terms of they were used to losing in so many ways, so they knew how to deal with that. So
what I
they
was saying
they wouldn't prevent, say, a player from having that social side, because sometimes that's how players get rid of bad energy or a bad loss or a bad game. Some players just use it just to switch off, but they weren't too bad with me, to be fair. Like and not even United fans were bad with me.
Wayne's smiling.
So do you know after the 6-1 game,
Yeah.
we got beat 6-1, after something like that, and I would never go out to go home. I had a birthday party.
I'm glad you brought that up.
I had a birthday party. Joe Hart, Gareth Barry, City players were invited to me party.
Wayne, I don't know why you're saying this as if no one knew. It was in the press, wasn't it?
I don't know.
It was, yeah.
Was it?
Because I knew about it.
No, but so I was literally sat there thinking, I need to cancel it.
Oh, really?
And then obviously you've got family, you've got friends, everyone who's obviously made their own plans to cover it. I was like, can't, so I went. And then obviously we've got the United lads, some of the City lads sat there, and we're sat there just like...
Do you talk to each other?
Yeah, of course. And well, in the end, I think there was me, Crouchy, Harty. We all got up and done a song of Backstreet Boys. In the end.
Which one? Which one was it?
I can't remember which one it was.
What, is that how you broke the ice?
And that was just the best way to get over it. But
Did the players in general? Did you have like friends from United as well? Did the players did the rivalry stretch to the players in terms of off the pitch?
No, I just felt like as soon as you cross that white line, you're just arch enemies. And then once it's over and done with, you get a bit of banter from your mates about it or the players you know. But other than that, it was just always there. It's just on the field action only.
that's where I was saying before, when we go with England, I was actually closer to the non-United players.
Yeah, we were always together, me, him
at
and
England
Defoe.
than I was with the United players. I think because I probably just had enough of being with them every day. different people, yes.
Was there anybody that you probably had an argument with on the pitch, and then like you were probably like friends with him later on? Or,
no, I remember I used to love me little battles with Company, because he was a big, strong lad, and you know he was a good player. So it was always, I knew it was always going to be a difficult game. And then I remember I've turned to make a run, I've butted him, and I could see he was clearly gone. So I ended up getting my head stapled at the side of the pitch. And then Vinny went in, and then he didn't come out at half time. He was like must have been concussed. And so then on I think this was the Sunday, on the Monday, we're both at the school dropping the kids off at school. So we're chatting, so I'm like, how's your head? How you doing, mate? But,
did you ever hang out with Balotelli? Because he was a bit of a character, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a special guy. He was a very special guy.
Because I remember that shirt in it, the one where it said "Why always me."
Yeah.
When you saw that on a pitch, what were you thinking?
I don't mind that. I think it's just him showing character. And
We
it's a
don't
bit
see
like,
enough of that, do we? Especially
it's a
not
bit
now.
like, you look at Cantona where he has his collar up, and I like players who've got that little bit of arrogance and confidence about themselves. And I met Mayo a couple of times, and always seen him as a nice lad, but then you see some of the stories where he's ran around his house on his motorbike.
What was he actually like as a person? Because like we hear the stories, but what was he actually like?
He was like a 12-year-old in almost like an adult's body. Like the things that he would do, would you expect from a 12 or 13-year-old? Like the fireworks in his bathroom. Like who would think of when you've got a garden? Why would you like fireworks in your bathroom?
Was he fighting them out the window into the garden?
I'm not even sure what he was doing.
Yeah, maybe just wanted them to get real lift off.
And he said to me one time, and he came to training, and it's like, Shaun, you never guess what happened to me yesterday. So he said to me after the game, so I decided I'm just going to drive through Alderley Edge with my roof down and sing Manchester City songs because we beat United. And then he said he got pulled over. He's obviously got cash on him because he's going somewhere. Police have asked him why he got cash. He's turned around. He said to me, I told him I robbed the bank. I'm just like, why would you like think of that's just his personality? Like he said, it's just his character. Like, but some player he could have been, and some player he was at the time.
Great ability, didn't he?
Yeah, I was going to say, like you say, some player he could have been, but when he was good, he was really good. He was a special player.
In many ways, it was unstoppable, but his temperament always got him in trouble on the pitch.
Yeah, no, I think playing obviously not directly against him, but you could see the ability he had, and that's what I was saying. Like, I think that having that bit of arrogance is good, but then I think you just need to show a bit more consistent with it, and I think he was just a little bit inconsistent.
Yeah, I bet you would have loved to have invited him to the party, though.
Yeah, fireworks going off in his bathroom. I'm not sure about that.
So no, but no, he was a top player.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you've spoken a lot about the 6-1. Sorry about that, Wayne. What was your favourite Manchester derby?
I think it was the one we won 1-0. The Etihad. I think Ronaldo might score the penalty. I think it was. And then the next day we won the league. So we almost won the league at the Etihad. Chelsea played Arsenal the next day and they drew 1-1. So that was mad because I remember sat at home. I've literally got my clothes ready. Had a couple of beers watching the Chelsea-Arsenal game, thinking, like, if Chelsea don't win, we've won the league. And then Chelsea got, I can't remember his name, the Dutch centre-back.
Bullerich, yeah.
He got sent off early. So then Arsenal went 1-0 up. So he you're ironing your clothes now. Getting ready. And then Chelsea equalised with about 10 minutes to go, I think it was. And then they hung on. So then we've obviously all met up and gone out. But I think that game was, I think we knew if we won that game, we won the league. And that was the first title, which I would have won. So I'd say that game.
Were you surprised he said that, or makes sense, doesn't it?
I think for a player, it's probably different. As fans, I love like a last-minute winner.
Yeah,
I think
drama.
The 4-3. Yeah, the 4-3 was like, it was just insane, and it was even better because it was in Fergie time.
There was another one as well, which the League Cup semi-final when I scored in the 90th minute.
Yeah,
it was 3-3 over 2 legs, and I scored like last kick of the game.
Yeah. Those moments are like for a fan, it's like so good because it's like you're almost gonna lose or you're drawing or whatever, and then you just like see the reaction on the players' faces.
Mark Hughes went mad on that 4-3-1, didn't he? Because I think he went to like 8 or 9 minutes instead of 7.
Yeah, it was
going mad.
It was, and I think it was one of those where at that time, City were really good as well, weren't they, at that point?
Yeah, City were a good team then, and I remember, Bellamy was on fire. I think he scored 2 great goals. Like, that was a tough game for us. And I think City were probably a better team, being honest, in that game. And then, obviously, Michael Owen scores late on. But I remember the one where Balotelli done Why Always Me.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was that game when Ben Foster played and he messed up. And I've never seen the manager go at someone like he did. Really? Like nowhere someone's getting in, you feel like saying, "Yo, come on, like leave him now." There's no way Ben Foster could have played for Man United ever again.
Yeah,
From
I
that
think
moment.
you've spoken about that.
But Van der Sar had been injured, so we knew Van der Sar was ready for the next game. So I think that's added to it, and he's just gone on me, and that's the worst I've ever seen him.
Does anyone dare say anything in that situation?
He's just looking at Ben. Just
Be a frog, mate.
Don't worry, mate. In 10 years, your YouTube channel's going to be amazing.
So yeah, no, it was a bit too far, I think.
What was your favourite one?
The 4-1 at the Etihad. I'd say
Yes.
that was like a massive one for me in terms of games, because even through that game, but like Man United were bringing it.
Yeah.
Like, and with Man United's teams, you could have been 3-0 up and they have 20 minutes left to go. And with that team, they could have still come back and got something out of the game. And I remember it being 3-1 and I'm like, there's 20 minutes left, 15 minutes left. And I'm like, it's still possible for these guys. So
Is that genuinely still going through your mind as a player? Like, as fans, they'll think that, but as players,
I don't know what the fans
wow.
think, but 3-1 isn't a good score, because as soon as it gets to 3-2, there's injury time plays a massive part when it's
And there's Fergie time.
when it's 3-2. So I remember, like, I think it was 3-1. The ball went up the side of the pitch, and like I scored the 4th goal, and I was dead. Like, I actually didn't want to run, but the ball just for whatever reason wouldn't roll off the pitch. And I looked at the ball, and then the fans started going on. In my head, I was like, damn, I'm going to have to kind of go for it now. And I sort of think, yeah, and I just went for it. And before I knew it, I was in front of Wes. And I said, like, the thing that we learned in training, especially when Mark Hughes was there, is that when we get up there, don't lose the ball. It either has to go for a corner or something needs to happen so they can't hit us back on the counter attack, basically. So I just said, I just need like half a yard just to hit that ball as hard as I can, and it just looping in.
There was one person I wanted to ask about the derbies. You see, when Tevez came back, what did you lot think? Did you lot want to get at him, or was it just like normal?
No, he was gone. I was gutted when he left because I'd really enjoyed playing with him. I think he was probably my favourite partner to play with.
Was
Carlos,
he?
yeah. And then I think there was all politics around who owned him, and Fergie just didn't want to play any part in that. And like, we were dead. I think we could have had him for like 20 million.
Yeah,
Something like that. And like, as players, we're like, what are we doing? Like, and then anyway, he goes to City, and that's his choice. I don't think.
So as players, none of you thought, "Oh my God, I can't believe he's done that."
If you ask him, would I have done it or would other players have done it? No, but he's from Argentina. I don't think that really has any impact in his decision making whatsoever.
Fair.
From that point of view, so it was a massive loss, and then like, we just knew where City were and trying to grow. Him going there, because we knew the ability was going to help them massively.
It's quite a transfer, isn't it, moving from United to City in terms of like doing that? It's not really something that's done that often.
Well, I mean, there are a couple, like Owen Hargreaves did it, but he was Schmeichel.
But at that moment when he did it,
He went direct, or was he?
That was like, I wouldn't say his peak, but
it was near it.
that was
nearing it. Yeah.
Tevez time.
Yeah.
Like, it was a shock. It sent shockwaves, didn't it, through the industry? And then there was
It shocked us, Kelly.
But there
as
seems
well.
to be quite a few,
it
like-
shocked us.
That was what I was going to kind
As
of
players-
ask respectively. What was it like?
At players at City, it shocked us because we never saw that coming. Normally, if we get a hand-me-down from Man United, they're at the later part of their career, like kind of winding down.
Hand me down. I didn't realise we called footballers that as well.
No, but when you're getting a player like gifted, because like you said, in many ways it was gifted to us. Like, to get a player like that, at that ability, at the transition of the time Man City were in, it was massive, because from he comes, that other players are thinking, well, why is Tevez
Well,
going
I think
there?
it
It
was against
draws.
City when he scored at Old Trafford.
Yes.
towards the end of the season. I think he scored. Yeah, he went in off the post.
Yeah.
That was City.
I think it was against
I
us.
think it was
Yeah.
against City, yeah. And from there you knew, because I think they were trying to organise for him to stay at the club, and then he's ran over and he's ran to the board, and then he's done that with his
The
ears
ears.
and whatever. And there you're like, he's not going to stay. He's not going to be here next year.
Yeah, it was massive.
See it.
Yeah, I suppose that was quite. I just sorry, I can't go over the hand-me-downs phrase. Phrase for a footballer. Who would you refer to as a hand-me-down, by the way?
Well, definitely not Tevez, that's for sure. But no, I wouldn't even say about Schmeichel, but we got Schmeichel. Schmeichel's a fantastic goalkeeper, and he was when he came to City. But if he was, Man United wouldn't have give us a 25, 26-year-old Schmeichels.
Before we wrap up the Manchester Derby chat, I can't believe we haven't spoken about the overhead kick goal. That must be is that one of your favourites from your career?
Yeah, it is. I think when you look.
It's so casually.
No, but when
I've
you look
scored
back
so
to the
many.
game, I was so bad in that game. It's one of the worst games I've ever played. I couldn't control the ball. And obviously then the goal happened, and I think it's more of an iconic goal because it's the Derby. You scored, win the game 2-1. But it's a goal which, look, I'm sure you've never practiced overhead kicks.
Yeah, but it's a weird thing to practice. It's,
Yeah, that's what I mean, so-
it's not.
It went off your shin as well, didn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah, and it
because-
went in.
I don't know.
Okay.
No, but when you don't practice overhead kicks, so
So how do you get good at them?
You just adjust. Yeah,
oh
you
no,
react.
but it's training. If one comes and you do it, it might go 50 yards over. Or so there's a lot of luck with it. Where they'll go, like goal against Newcastle, for instance, that was something you practice at the end of training. You practice volleying and trying to hit it with the outside of your foot a bit.
That's my favourite goal of yours.
Come back in. So and even the counter-attack goals where we work on. We scored a lot against Arsenal, doing that. So them goals, because you've worked on it, you've practiced it. I think I get more joy out of. But obviously, they scored it over against City.
It's lucky.
Winning
Is that
goal.
one of your favourite goals you've scored?
It was lucky.
Is that one of your favourite goals you've scored?
Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah, of course. And so against Harty as well. I used to have a bit of banter with Harty when we meet up with England, because I scored a few past him. No, I scored a few decent ones. I scored a free kick. Scored one from the halfway line, overhead kick. Used to have a bit of banter with Harty.
Do you remember all of your goals? Like,
Yeah.
so you could reel off every single one?
Yeah, but I think so.
Wow, that's
I
amazing.
couldn't do that. I didn't get nowhere near as many as these.
So Wayne says that he enjoyed the overhead kick, but maybe wasn't his favourite. I bet that was one of.
It was
your
one of my favourite.
goals.
But my favourite goal was his Newcastle goal, the volley. That was my. It's because what I loved about that goal was you're still talking to the ref, and you look angry with him, and then you just.
Yeah, I think Sheila should have been booked, you know, and him at that time. I think Sheila was Mr. FA. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to book him, and then the ball fell out. I was arguing the referee and just
Because it just looks so funny, like, because you're just like still talking to him, you're still talking. The ball comes, you smack it top bit.
to add to that, it was, I had a dead leg at the time, and I seen David Bellion getting ready to come on. I was thinking, no way. I think I'm not getting something in my life. So that helped as well. I just all the anger out on the ball.
Yeah, because even when you celebrated, you're still shouting. It wasn't even like.
But Alan Smith nearly broke my jaw. He come in, and he's hit me shoulder right on my jaw. My jaw was in agony for weeks after that.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Whose is better, do you think? Wayne's overhead kick or the Garnacho against Everton?
Garnacho's better.
Oh,
I don't know. Yours felt, when I watch it, more like an overhead kick. I think Garnacho's had more
know,
of like
but
an angle on it. His goal was unbelievable, by the way.
Yeah,
it was
I just think he's caught it through and
Perfectly, yeah.
distance it wasn't. I think it was better.
Yeah, no, Garnacho one was good, but I just don't think it had the same sort of gravitas to it. Do you know what I mean? Like the
Yeah, it's
importance
because
of
the
it.
derby and
Yeah.
yeah, it's not
changes
quite as
it.
big a game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it was a nice moment, but in the grand scheme of things for the season, what did it really mean?
Goal of the season.
Good point.
That's all it meant, really. Yeah. To be fair, at this stage of our thing, it does mean a lot, right?
It feels like it's a weird one this weekend because we've spoken about this game being in the past when Man United were at the top of English football, when Man City were at the top of English football. I mean, admittedly, Man City are probably a bit nearer it than United at the moment. But this weekend, it feels like both teams really need a win and potentially a bit, just to make a bit of a statement as well.
I think it's massive for City, personally. I don't know
Yeah,
what you think.
I just think City have got the experience of players being there and being close to the top league. I think for United, I think after a bit of criticism at the start of the season, obviously win the last game. This game, if they can win that, then I think it gives the confidence it gives the players is huge. I think City will get back up there anyway, regardless. But I think with United, the confidence it'll give the players if they win this game will be huge.
You just said then, though, you feel it's really big.
Yeah, I think it's massive. I think they're in a position where it almost feels like it's pre-season for them at the minute, with having that 3 weeks off before the start of the season, which for me, I think all players should have a bare minimum of 3 weeks off anyway, which sadly football hasn't given us for a good couple of years, especially the top 5 teams anyway. So I think they're still getting their legs going. There's elements you see in games where they're like, City are back, and then when you look at the Spurs game, then you're thinking, oh, we're quite a way away here. So I still think they're working it out. There's still a few kinks. I think with Kolo Touré and Pep Lijnders in there, I think that helps with some new ideas. I think they're going to be more aggressive this year in terms of, especially when they break, they're going to try and go for the jugular rather than slow play and try and break them down again. But I still think they're all work in progresses, so it's a step. You hear Pep speak sometimes and he says, with what they've been working on, he's happy because he's seen a lot of those things happen in a game. But of course, nobody's happy when you when you lose a game. But that for me was another game of individual mistakes.
I think the international games as well now will help as well in terms of the players' fitness and getting them sharp. And you see Haaland scored 5 goals.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see Haaland's injury?
Yeah,
sorry, I know going off piece there, but he put it on social media. His mouth was like, don't know what happened, but yeah.
He said the door of the bus. I think he walked into it. I think, which is.
Not a football injury. Sorry, I just have to interject with that because it was one of the fattest lips I have ever seen. Won't affect him on the football pitch this weekend.
There's a lot more pressure, though, I think, on Amorim than there is on Guardiola.
Yeah, I think there should be.
Yeah.
In terms of, I think with Pep, he tries to adjust things if things ain't working. He tries to change things tactically and so on. Whereas I don't think Amorim does. I think he's got his way of playing. If it isn't working, he kind of just takes people out and puts people in there.
I used to say about Alex Ferguson, well, Pep has earned that right to try new things and try something different, because I'm sure the hierarchy at Man City, they trust him, they know he's a winner, he wins trophies, that's what he does. So with Amorim obviously coming in, there's a lot of pressure to be successful and climb the table and win trophies, and we haven't quite seen that yet in England, so that's why I think there's a bit more pressure on Amorim.
Yeah, and I guess Pep's already proven himself over
But I
here,
don't
whereas
think he doesn't
Amorim
have to prove himself to anyone, does
exactly.
He was enjoying his international break, wasn't he? He was at
He went to the US, didn't he?
yeah, he was at the US Open.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
that as well.
Yeah. Amorim can't be doing that. If I saw him at the US Open, I'd be like, bro, what are you doing?
He's been sitting with that tactics board that he had pitch side at Grimsby, hasn't he? Okay, so big game this weekend. But we also wanted to talk to you guys. You're both fathers with sons and a daughter who is now involved in the game. I wanted to firstly talk about your daughter, because your daughter is, I said it to you before we came in here, incredibly exciting time to be involved in women's football. Did you know she's 11?
Yeah, 12 next month.
And she's just signed for Chelsea, one of the best team in England as it stands. And it sounds like she's got a pretty good chance.
Yeah, she's got a delightful chance. With me and my kids, I refuse to play football with them.
Don't want to show them up?
No, I just, it was the same with me and Bradley.
They're all bigger than him now.
How long was you waiting for that? No, I just believe in them learning to fall in love with the game themselves and playing football the way they want to play it. If I'm going to teach my kids, I'm going to teach them how I played football. I think the game's changed. I want them to learn to find their own way to play the game, and that's what they both did. They both fell in love with it. And she does stuff that I used to do, climb over fences that you're not allowed to do her running drills and on her own. So she's earned all of that herself.
That must be hard being a good player, trying to teach her.
I'm very similar. I'm obviously quite lucky where I live, and I've got like a little pitch there, and when the kids say, "Oh, we come on the pitch," all we're gonna do is tie the balls in the top corner.
Yeah.
So when I say to them when I was younger, you're out, you're playing, you're practicing. I used to remember setting a little square, practicing passing into it, and just playing off the wall. And so I'm very similar. I'm like, well, go out and you need to practice. You need to work on your speed. You need to work on your technique, your control, and stuff like that. And because otherwise you go out and just like, oh, watch me hit the ball in the top corner.
Yeah, because it must be when you're a good player, you're just like, yeah, of course, you just hit it top bins. It's easy. Like, but it's like that came with years of practice for you guys, which people don't see. So like, you can't really instill, like, you can't really show them how to do that, can you? They have to learn it for themselves.
Like, I just found in football, there's so many elements of it you can't teach.
Sure.
Like when I dribble or when Rooney does these weird and random things that he would just do off the cuff, they're not taught. That's just an instinct thing you learn just playing with your friends on the street or doing it by yourself. Like the rest of the stuff can be coached. So I've always found like learn your raw ability, and the rest of football you can learn along the journey.
Also, Shaun, you've obviously seen it from both sides. You're the father of children playing football now, but you're also the son of an incredibly famous footballer as well. Do you think having had that experience has shaped the way you are with your footballing children?
Yeah and no. I think there's elements of it. I think that to deal with like the grief that comes along with it, because a lot of people see you and just expect you to be as good as him or play the same way as him. I got a lot of stick growing up from parents and all the rest of it, and I know my daughter's been getting it recently at 11 or 11 and 10 already from parents. She's been getting like booed off the pitch, so I've just taught when she's come off injured.
Because she's your daughter?
Because they don't want her to do what she's capable of doing. So it's a put-off tactic. It happens in men's football. That's why they give you the abuse they give you, because they don't want you to perform at the level that they know that,
well.
There's a bit more pressure on them as well. And I think I remember with Kai when Ronaldo come back, so Ronaldo's lad and Michael Carrick's lad were all on the same team. And we go and watch, and then all of a sudden there's like 10 times the amount of people who's normally there. All there around the pitch watching. So there's a lot more pressure because they're coming to watch them three kids to see how they play and stuff. And
well, they're coming to watch not Kai Rooney, they're coming to watch Wayne's son.
I think they should mentally
prepare them.
Got to be ready, yeah.
Yeah, they got to mentally be prepared. And I just tell her, I've always told them, just play your game. Answer all the questions with your football. Don't have a reaction that everybody's expecting you to react, which is normally take your focus away from what you're actually meant to be doing.
Do you think your approach helps with your children because your dad was a footballer as well?
I would say yeah and no, because like in terms of there's kids and there's kids in it. Some kids just refuse to hear what people are saying, and there's other kids that actually listen. But I think the fact that I've been through it, and I would say most probably the same with Waz, the fact that he's been through it all, for kids around you, there's no better person to really take advice from, because what you're saying is stuff that you've actually lived through. So
your daughter's playing, but I feel quite bad. I focused on the daughter because I'm excited that she's signed for Chelsea. But your son's playing. Is he out in Belgium now?
Yeah, he's out in Belgium.
Because he was at Stoke, wasn't he? And now
he was at Stoke. He did actually really well at Stoke, and then new manager changes. It becomes a bit tricky, and now he's learning how to deal with the downside of football, which a lot of kids don't see. A lot of kids just think you play football, you're going to play all the time, and you're going to live the high life. Where he got a new manager that believed in playing old players. So he ends up going on loan, helped Bearscott get promoted to the Championship. He had a terrible season last year in terms of he was injured. So mentally, he didn't know how to deal with it. And now the new coach has come in and they want him off the books. And now he's learning to deal with something else to deal with football. And it's something he has to grow up and deal with, because there's only some things like me as a dad and as an ex-footballer can help him with.
How involved are you? How much does he call on you?
As kids do when they need something.
What you're saying there, that's so for instance, I only experienced that towards the end of my career, where I'm experienced enough, I'm mature enough to know how to deal with it. And so when it's at the start of your career, that's when as imagine you don't know how to deal with it, so you need advice, whether that's from a parent or a coach or whatever, to try and help you get through that, because at that age there's no way you could know all the answers.
Wayne, you are not going to the NTA. Some breaking news. On the last show, we said, we're going to see Wayne in the week, and then he's going to the NTAs off to be a celeb. You didn't sound too excited about it. You're not actually going, and the reason you're not going is because...
No, I'm going to Korea tomorrow.
As you do.
To play a game, yeah.
It's not just any old game, though, is it? It's not a kickabout in the
park.
park.
There's some good players there, yeah. Thierry Henry.
They're all right, aren't they?
Rio, Vida, a few top players, yeah. So I think there's little perks there as well. So if you do well, your FIFA rating card
Goes
Oh,
higher.
really?
goes up. So
Yeah.
Have you been
gone.
training for it?
yeah,
As he said that, he was like, he like doing like puffed his chest out.
so no, it'd be fun. It's a long trip, obviously, but it'll be fun. Be good to catch up with some old teammates as well, and I'm sure we'll enjoy the game.
You see, with those charity games, what's the funnest part of it? Is it an actual game or is it like just seeing
Surely
your
it's
old
a
mates?
social now
Yeah.
after.
Yeah, I think it's meeting up with ex-teammates or even players you played against. Whatever, I think there's a good vibe there, and obviously the game, some players will take it a bit more serious than. It's like I played Soccer Aid last year, and I'm playing against Vidic, so I know I can get Vidic's head like that.
Oh, even now?
Yeah, so
How?
because he takes everything serious, and he's like, so he's like, Wazza, just let's have an easy game, don't run him behind. So naturally, every
That's what you
time
do.
Michael Carrick's ball just running behind, and he's fuming with it, whatever. So yeah, there's little things in games, and yeah, it's good to. I think more importantly, you're doing it for good causes when some charity games, but also you're going to have a bit of fun and see some of your ex-teammates.
You let out a sigh. What was that? When we were talking about like Soccer Aid, have you played in it?
Yeah, I played it. Him and Scholesy midfield
Well, who was hardest to play against?
in Soccer
Soccer
Aid.
Aid, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm going there to entertain the fans. Like I didn't go there with the mentality that like I have to fight and hustle.
Tevez did.
Yeah, that's just him when he gets on the pitch in general. That's just Tevez anyway. That's Carlos.
But
He's,
you get him on a training pitch, mate.
he don't move.
He's horrendous.
He's the worst
Really?
trainer in the world
Yeah.
that I've ever played with anyway.
Yeah,
Cool, that's a statement.
No,
Oh, no,
honestly,
he is, yeah.
he don't move. If you're playing a 7 aside, you're a man down, guaranteed.
yeah, he's horrendous. Yeah. But he doesn't
really
stop running.
affect-
Come
Yeah,
back
he
stage.
saves
I was going to
it.
say,
He
didn't really
saves it
affect
all.
him, did it?
He saves it all.
Most important question, I'm worried, I don't know about you, but have you clocked, if he's in Korea, this podcast on Sunday, what time of day is this going to be?
We're gonna probably have to do it like 3 a.m. or something, aren't we?
Yeah, for me, using normal time.
Oh, are we? Oh, that's all right
Stuff.
then, isn't it?
See how they're happy now. They're happy now. They don't care no more.
I'm slightly nervous the podcast can be midway through the post-game night out, though. So tune in on Monday, guys.
No, so I think straight after the game is about 3 a.m. for me.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 8 hours ahead.
Okay.
But you're
We'll
probably
work it
going to
out.
be jet lagged anyway, so you're not going to be able to get to bed at 3 a.m.
Yeah, no, I'll be waking up.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sean, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
What, you got any big plans going to Korea or anywhere fun this weekend?
No, chill. I'm going to the Derby on Sunday.
Oh, you're actually going?
Yeah, I'll be up there, so I'll be watching
nice.
it.
Well, enjoy that one, and we'll see how that one plays out. We will be back again on Monday. A reminder, you can watch the Wayne Rooney Show on the BBC Sport YouTube channel and on iPlayer, and you can also listen on BBC Sounds.